Let's get it. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome to the greatest podcast known to man. Just to let you know, the bullshit had already started because one of our esteemed hosts here is drinking Earl Grey or some kind of nonsense for tea right now. But welcome to the greatest podcast known to man. I am the delectable, the edible, the mahogany god himself, the Prime Minister of Duval County, C. Dot Turner. Please put the dot. It ain't the same as like Wayne's F, baby. Please say I put the please say anyway. I want to put like the little part in mine anyway. So please say the dot, all right? And my co-host, Mr. Chicago, the West and South suburbs, also the greatest receiver, period. Period. That's when you put that period, you got to end the sentence, period.
Hey, we don't need some asterisks. We don't need some asterisks all over that.
You know what I'm saying? At me. You don't like it?
R-I-O-D-T, period.
Period. City Girls edition. Put the T at the end of period. The greatest receiver known to man. Go at your mama if you don't like what I'm saying. James, big game, West Coast, Midwest, Madison, Walton, the third. What's going on, baby?
Like I said, America, I'd love to let his intro go, but the best receiver period, man, look, there's an asterisk. It's going to have to be in a certain calendar year, in a certain level of football, in certain stadiums in the Midwest. At this certain time, yeah, I might have the best receiver.
You don't like it? At me.
On this game day, yeah, I was the best receiver in the world because nobody else was playing football but me. You know what I'm saying? Listen, you guys know who it is, man. You know, not even the third wheel, man. You know what I'm saying? He just part C to this ABC, another bad creation we got right here, courtesy of Chris Turner's Cups. Mike Bazemore in the house. What's good, my man? All right,
Baze, you hadn't been on, bro, but I had to pick up a hobby. I now make cups out of all delectable alcohols that I drink. I make cups out of them now. That shows that I've been in Montana too goddamn long, and I need to either leave or find something else to do. So
you notice that all of his cups are of the Ciroc variety.
It's all black shit. It's all black.
You make cups out of what?
Out of liquor bottles.
Oh, so you use like the twine and you cut the top off and you sand the edges. So
dude, I went on Amazon and got a whole little glass cutting kit. Like that's what a level of boredom I'm at right now. I have a glass cutting kit.
That's you about to be 40. That's all.
Yeah, that's really probably what that is.
Nah, what Montana is that picture I saw Baze with Max with them both of their boots on. That's Montana.
Oh my God.
They was rocking the boots. I saw that, Baze.
Oh yeah, I got me a
Baze ain't got no shade.
Shit kickers.
I told Callie, her dad almost gave me a pair of boots over here, man, over the holidays. And I said, man, look, the only way I'm getting those, I gotta get the jacket with the Macho Man tassels like Rick James and the cowboy hat. I got to go full on in the side of bitches' faces. Like I got to be all the way in character. He just walk up to any girl in the club and just lick the side of her face.
I'm Rick James.
Oh God. So America, like we said, it's all.
Hold on, let's time out. Real question. Back in your day when you were single, how many times could you have gotten that off? Lick the side of a woman's face without being arrested?
Do I want to put this on wax?
I'm not going first.
Can I put this on wax?
Yeah, I'm not going first, so I won't answer first. I'm not going to incriminate my damn self.
Did he? Okay, so he said.
Now, okay, allegedly, if I was to do it, I think I could have got away with it 6 times.
I'm gonna say I could have averaged probably 1 to 5 times a year from 2007 to 2009.
1 to 5 times a year.
2010. And here's the deal. I probably would have got slapped all 5 times trying to do some Rick James shit. Like, that'd be 100. And you know
I
what?
don't think I would have got slapped.
I'm gonna take back them 9 and 10 years. I can't include 9 and 10 because you can't get away with that, villains. Like that.
I'll say this.
I'd probably Bloomington, especially 07. I've seen some shit. That's all I'm gonna say about that.
I'll qualify it this way. I'll say from 04 to 08, I could have done it about 5 or 6 times every weekend.
Yeah, like, you know, I don't know how East Lansing works, but I'm pretty sure Tuscaloosa worked this.
I was never trying that in East Lansing. I probably would have never thought of trying that until good old Billings, Montana.
Yeah.
Enjoy yourself.
You know what? Okay. 2007, 2010, I could have got away with it. Like, and the range is 1 to 5 times. It just depended on how many Jaeger bombs I was really having, you know, which is what I was drinking in 7 and 8.
Them flaming Dr. Peppers.
You know, bringing them, them flaming Bacardi ones.
Flaming Dr. Peppers.
How many of those I had with Kelly Rouse before I'm like,
oh my God.
I got enough hair on my chest, Kelly. I appreciate it. Now I'm about to go here.
That 151, that 100 proof peppermint schnapps.
211s.
You know, Bays, there were some times, you know, during our vodka wine days where I felt like I had the courage. The execution would have been terrible, but I had the liquid courage when we were drinking vodka wines.
Enjoy yourself.
You know, 2012, 2013. And then, Bays, I'd also just say, when you got me on the Burnett's watermelon and on ice.
Oh.
Bays is the one that introduced me to the Burnett's watermelon. That was you too.
Ooh.
I was drinking
that
ice.
Weekend at Bernie's. Ooh, that weekend at Bernie's, boy.
At Burnett's used to hit. You didn't need nothing but a little bit of water in there. Listen, that was the best $9, $10 I was spending.
Cut so smooth.
That's terrible.
Yeah, I'm gonna get in trouble for this. This is calling.
Oh yeah.
I'm claiming I could have licked people's face, but I could have. I was, you know.
Charismatic. It was a whole different time at that time.
Charismatic. I think they just would have been like, "Oh, you're so silly." I think that's what I got. It would have been the Rick James reaction that Rick James got. Rick James. Might have been some like, "Oh, look at old little big game James. He's so cute over here."
What y'all talking about? Well, I was juicy fruit, so I could have got away with it a couple times every weekend. Okay, I could have got away with it. I was juicy fruit. Oh, well, that's right.
Now you got to break down which establishment. So you talking Wild West?
Now you
get
No, I say.
All right. So back to the topic at hand tonight.
Allegedly, may or may not have done.
So back to the topic at hand. We're going to talk about the NFL once again because Bays is
in Bloomington. Club MD in Bloomington.
Whoa.
My old heads in Bloomington. No. Daddy-O's was my spot.
Thank you, Walt. Thank you, Walt.
The Billings locations will not be disclosed. So the topic at hand.
So on this awkward turn.
Now this is Chris, watch. This will be the one the anchor gets all the way through. Like it's gonna be on Spotify, so that'd be great. So I'm the one that kind of wanted to bring these guys together, America. And it's been touching my soul to watch this game. And the reason why these two guys are the perfect example is, you know, I always have to reference my highest level. But in 2009, these guys were part of the greatest defensive line I ever saw in the history of indoor football. I never saw anything. We've talked about it time and time again. Mike Bazemore, Chris Turner, and Mike Landry. These guys won us basically every game we won because of the fact that offensively, all we had to do was get to 40, and it's cake from there. And them three guys were like, yeah, get to 40 so we can go out here and get our money. So it was a beautiful working relationship. So why I'm bringing these guys, you know what I'm saying, to the table. And it's not a red one. This ain't Jada and Will. We ain't on that. You know, I felt like we might have just been on that, you know.
Hey, got close.
But America, we obviously witnessed some of the best playoff games in the history of the NFL, and really in one weekend. I mean, whatever game you turned on this weekend, if you missed some, you watched classics, and it was phenomenal performances. I think by all 8 teams and their own different styles. But there's one game in particular to me that is why I had these two guys here. And I just cannot get over this fact. And I think this is what makes this show brilliant. I really want to spend a little bit more time. And I want to talk about what a defensive player, especially playing in the front 7 for sure, and obviously the back 4 or back 5, depending on how you're lined up, your secondary, your DBs, your safeties, America, just for your preference, would feel a certain way. But I don't think there's too many games in the history of the NFL where a team has even recorded 9 sacks. I mean, the record for a single player is Derek Thomas's 7, which hasn't even remotely been touched. But 9 sacks in a playoff game is phenomenal. And what I wanted to hear from these guys, who have always been very honest in their takes on this show, anything we've talked about, is how would you feel if you gave that type of effort on defense where you basically frustrated defense that much, and at the end of the day, due to basically one player's mistake, it cost you the opportunity to make a little bit more money in the next round. And not only that, you know, go for the thing that we all want to be, which is to be a champion, whatever we do. Like, what would be the locker room for defensive linemen? You know, put that in perspective for me, because obviously I never had that perspective of kind of understanding what that could feel like to play that type of game, especially with how offensive the game is now and how little defense gets credit. Like, to play that great and lose. Take me into what it would be like for you when you walk back there after that.
I mean, I'll go first because I guess I'm the over emotional one of the 3 of us. From my 37 seconds in the NFL to arena football and everything else, so there's a win bonus tied on to pretty much from when you leave high school. You got win bonuses. We just go blow right by that. Okay, so.
I caught all that. Hopefully the NCAA did. So every time, Chris.
I didn't actually mean that one until I heard it.
Habitual line stepper.
Every time.
There's win bonuses when you win games, all right? And then in most professional leagues, there are incentives when it comes to your position. Cornerbacks, of course, they have PBUs and interceptions. Quarterbacks have touchdowns and have an interception they don't throw, and like rushing yards and all that stuff. When it comes to the defensive line, sacks are cash. Like, sacks are that extra comma in the check, pretty much. Like, sacks are what the common fan notices more than anything else. The common fan is not going to notice tackle for loss on a running back, but like, sacks are what gets your picture in the paper.
Yeah, TFL's asked Will Anderson what that got him.
Even though he was better than the quote-unquote number 1 pick. But we're not going there on that one right now.
I want to go there. I just wanted to shout out Will Anderson, you know, who deserves to be shouted out.
So sacks get you what you need. And if there was a game where myself, Mr. Bazemore, Mr. Landry, you've heard the stories about how we would lay on top of quarterbacks, and the last person who's the one to get up, that's who got credited for the sack. If there was a game where we got 5, 6+ sacks and we didn't win, you got to fight me. Like, that's just what it kind of comes down to, because don't tell me I put up all these numbers and I got you the ball, because sacks, let's call a spade a spade. Sacks get you the ball back quicker. That puts the ball back into the offensive hands. It should anyway. That puts me in a more pass rushing position. That gets the offense the ball back quicker. So I'm giving you more chances to score, which gets you more money. I'm helping everybody get more money. I'm the nose guard 3 technique. So God forbid, if I'm getting back there getting money, everybody should be eating. So if I get 9 sacks in a playoff game where incentives are bigger, the win bonus is bigger, the glory is bigger, everybody's getting a chance to get more money. And you get off the bus and throw an interception, first of all, not to get too specific, but you get off the bus and throw a pick, and then you throw a pick in clutch times, and I'm still getting sacks to get you the ball back to erase the mistakes you continuously make. And we still lose? Like, we set a playoff record for sacks, and we still lose because you keep my kids up. You keep messing up. You got to fight me in the locker. You might not make it to the locker room. Like, you have to fight me. Like, we can be cool when the offseason start and everything else, which the offseason start pretty much when you threw that 3rd pick. But, bro, you have to run your hands. Like, I need you to fight me. Like, it is what it is, but you're going to have to fight me until training camp starts next season.
Hey, CT, and I just confirmed for you. We don't confirm too much, but yes, they tied the playoff record for most sacks in the history of a playoff game. I just saw the first article I saw. Joe Burrow was a part of being sacked for the most NFL record.
So now we're pretty much
Now we've set a record. So that could have been some sort of bonus.
We've set an NFL record. You got to fight me. That's what it comes down to. Like, bro, there's nothing you can say like, oh, it was cold. Bitch, we're in Tennessee. Like, it's not Green Bay. It's not outside Minnesota. We're in Tennessee. It's like 40.
It didn't look cold to me. And I'm cold all the time.
Exactly. I'm cold right now and I'm in a house. It's 40 degrees, 50 degrees. There's no snow on the ground. You got gloves on any damn way. If I don't win this game because your lack of athletic ability, you damn wide receiver playing quarterback in the first place, if I don't win this game, you got to fight me. That's just what it comes down to. Like, and here's the thing. Here's what I'm not worried about, because I'm justified. I got a middle linebacker for a head coach. He's going to look like, yeah, I get it. So I'm not in trouble. And even if I do get in trouble, somebody's going to pick me up because we put up 9 sacks in a playoff game. Somebody's going to pick us up as pass rushers. So now you got to fight me. Here comes the more esteemed and more collected Mr. Bazemore. But now you got to fight me.
Hey, and Baze, I want to give you a little bit more energy. Ryan Tannehill threw that 3rd and final decisive pick inside of a minute. It was like either the 32nd mark or the 4th quarter after the defense
got a 3 and out.
Got a 3 and out and stopped and forced a punt.
You got to fight me, bro. Like, hands.
Let's unpack this.
After he threw a touchdown to tie the game. This is what mystifies me. But go ahead, Baze. I'm sorry.
But we know who he has always been. Now, what he has been the past several years have pretty much been an aberration of what his average play is. So if I know I have a teammate and this is his average, at some point in time, he's going to resort back to what his average play is. Now, if it comes in a game where I need him to be his average or better, that's a tough one to swallow. I'm mainly gauging his reaction after his play. And in terms of next year, I wouldn't be mad if he wasn't on my team next year, to be honest with you. But after cooler heads prevail, I could probably readjust, rethink how I feel about him. But I'm always going to start from what is his average play. I set my expectations. So would I be surprised that he turned into a pumpkin again? I wouldn't be surprised. I'd be mad as hell, especially saying that we controlled the entire game with 9 sacks. That's hard as hell to do. So he definitely going to have to be very contrite. I don't want to hear a lot of leadership talk from him for quite some time. he's going to have to earn it again. He's going to have to earn it through his play. Now, I'm not going as far as to put hands on him because they could have just similar to how the Buffalo and the Chiefs game ended. Could have been saying the same way where I needed one stop from you defense and you couldn't get me that one stop. I'm putting up points against Patty Melt Mahomes. And you don't get that stop.
That might be, you need to trademark that, baby.
So same kind of thing. So we know as a team game, like sometimes it goes your way, sometimes it doesn't. And your unit could be the cause of you having a loss on your record, especially in the playoffs. But in terms of his individual play, it goes to show you. And this is giving me so much ammo. These quarterbacks ain't all what they cracked up to be. All this quarterback talk. Talk about.
Hold on. Let me
talk about quarterbacks are the best player on the team. All the quarterbacks get the MVP. All this quarterback talk. What happens now when your quarterback, Jesus and cleats, throws 3 picks. Now you want to talk about his receivers. Why wasn't you running the ball? Quarterback.
Here's my difference in that. And here's the only problem I got with what you're saying besides you not being the emotional one of the bunch. Here's my only problem.
He's getting there, Chris.
He got
to say the word quarterback 5 more times. Bays might rip that vest open.
So with Mahomes drove down and in 13 seconds got them in pretty much in a winning situation. The difference, I think, is you look at it from, all right, defense, we need y'all to get one stop. All right, now you're one of your defense to stop Patty Mahomes, the human bullet himself, Tyreek Hill, Kelsey, and then who else was that receiver? I can't think of the kid's name. Exactly, you got sub 4-4 guys like running with an accurate quarterback compared to Tannehill, where it's like, dude, you're a wide receiver playing quarterback. Just run the damn ball.
Why do you expect him to be anything other than a wide receiver playing quarterback?
Here's what I expect him to run the ball.
I've got
just run.
Because here's the deal, Chris. I'm sorry, geez. Here's the deal, Bays. So used to be me, Chris. We had you on for long. Bays, here's the deal with it. Like 100%. If you look at the 4 teams that are still in the running to win this thing,
credible quarterback,
they all have the same thing in common when it comes to what's going on the outside and what's going on the back. They have a legit, like, 2 big-time targets. All these teams. Look at the Rams. They have 2 big-time targets. Higbee is a top 7 tight end. He is. I mean, the tight end list is very small.
Very much so.
After, the big 3, big 4, when you're talking Kelsey, Kittle, Waller, Gronkowski. Then after that, it's everybody's. If you got a tight end 1 that's caught 50, 60 balls during that conversation, right? So they've got that. What's Cincinnati got? Cincinnati's got Uzma has come out of he's established himself. If I can stay healthy, I'm gonna get me a nice little contract here.
Yep.
Jamar Chase, we talked about him on the show, and I know how you feel
Lights
about
out.
Jamar Chase, Bays. You know talent when you see it. T. Higgins is a phenomenal number 2. Tyler Boyd understands who he is. They had 3,000-yard receivers. Okay? We know what's going on with the Chiefs. Tyreek, Kelsey, period. It's like 1.5 apiece, right? And then Hardman here. Pringle has been unbelievable. Like, they've had the ability to continue to grow confidence in those guys. Hardman made all sorts of plays in that game on Sunday.
Yeah.
His little run to the end zone was a big part of that run. And because of them being viable, it made your coverage on on Tyreek and Kelsey, like that's what that does. To where it's like these guys have all played in Super Bowls. They've all been in Super Bowls. So they understand the magnitude. You know what I mean? So Every team, and then San Francisco, when you talk about George Kittle, Deebo Samuel, who's going to have to be a show all himself at some point.
Yeah.
It's coming to the point. I heard Shannon Sharp say it today. And I've even been saying it to my wife, who is beyond ecstatic. Oh, yeah, babe, she's full-on Niners fan, period. Like, it's not a game out here. She got a starter jacket. We're already planning outfits for next year. She is dead-ass serious about the Niners. She is loving life right now. Like, she picked the team right when she needed to pick the team. She picked them last year after the Super Bowl. She's like, I like this. We live here. I like that. She's like, they had the bad team. She's like, oh, they had their injuries. I think this is going to be their year. She said that shit. You know Callie.
That's a hell of a way to pick a team.
She was like, I like the way they played, even with their injuries. I'm rocking with them this year. I am a Niners fan, so I give her credit. But you're talking Kittle, you're talking Deebo Samuel. So you got two all-pro caliber talent. Deebo was all-pro, second team or something. I think Kupp and Devontae had the first spots, but I'm pretty sure Deebo Samuel was second team all-pro, or maybe he was an all-purpose, so they found a way. And then Brandon Ayuk on the other side can win. So Ryan Tannehill has the exact same thing. And all four of these teams have a capable 1,000-yard running back. So this is what kills you about Ryan Tannehill. A.J. Brown is a top 7 wide receiver when he is healthy.
Yeah.
He's as close to Deebo Samuel as there is. You're just not going to put A.J. like you just see when you see Deebo back there in his 2-point stance and you watch Niners play, you're like, it fits him.
Right.
Then you see him line up and you're like, that works too. And then he'll go return the kickoffs. He's returning the kickoffs. You're like, yeah, this dude is like, he's a throwback to the Great Depression of football, back when guys played everything. Like, it's good to see Deebo doing that, because that's what we all were accustomed to, seeing the Champ Baileys and the Deion Sanders and Chuck Woods.
Multiple positions, yeah.
You saw guys, hey, the best player's going to play, and we're going to find a way to make sure he touches the ball.
We're going to get you on the field to touch that ball. Yeah.
So what drives you crazy about Tannehill is here's a team that still ran the football at a proficient clip without Derrick Henry. You get Derrick Henry back to go with the running back you've created. Now you've got a 1-2 punch, and Hilliard's been a nice little number 3. You got that. They ran for over 100 and some odd yards in that game. I don't have the exact stats. I watched it. I saw Henry score a rushing touchdown. I saw Foreman bust a 60-yard run. He had 4 carries for 66 yards. Henry, I think, had 70 yards rushing. A.J. Brown had 100 yards receiving. Julio Jones had 7 catches. All you have to do is not turn the ball over. Jimmy Garoppolo has yet to throw an interception. Throw a touchdown in the playoffs. But he's done just enough where he has not. What the heck? I'm telling you, boy. I forgot what the fuck that was. I'm sorry, America. I didn't know. I was like, I wasn't eating nothing before we started. I didn't get no PNC. Oh, Chris, I got to tell you about PNC. I'm pissed off. We did not copyright that. I've heard it 3 different times on television, and I'm pissed off because I've been saying PNC for 2 years. Anyway, heard it on SNL last night. I was like, it's over now. I ain't got no clue. Anyway.
It's out in the atmosphere.
So that's what it is about Tannehill. It's knowing what he has. That dude, it's not like you're going to make a mistake. I'm not asking you to play perfect football.
No, just be good. Like that's
but you can't listen. The first one is like, you know what? You're excited. You just want to maybe prove like, hey, Derek, you don't have to carry the load. I could deal with that one. The second one was actually a hell of a play by Mike Milton. Like it was Mike Hilton. It was a hell of a play. He tipped it to himself and picked it off. Third touchdown, he threw it into coverage on a 2-minute drill. And not only that, it wasn't you forcing the Julio or A.J. Brown. You forced it to Westbrook Ikane, or however you say the I part of his name.
Somebody who won't be there next year.
It was forced. It was a terrible throw. Like, it was a horrible read. It was like, dude, if this game goes to overtime, it's okay. You know why? your defense has sacked Joe Burrow 9 times up to this point. And of course, the defense, the one time they let him down, well, you know what? They spread him out. And then Jamar Chase catches like a 25-yard corner. And then it's ball game. It was it after that. The one time the D coordinator says, you know what? I fucked up one time.
So here's my thing.
So that's what it is with Tannehill. It's like everybody else has the same situation. And they found a way to make sure they haven't gotten in the way. Stafford has yet to get in the way. Tom Brady didn't get in the way of his team. Aaron Rodgers didn't get in the way. He just didn't do enough. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just like,
Mr. Rodgers lost another playoff game, huh?
Yeah.
Well, I'm not trying to overly oversaturate. I want to stay to this game, Maze. So if you've got a little bit of time, maybe that's the way we'll move, and we can do our quarterback talk. That might be the way to segment after our Give Me a Minutes with this, and grab another 15 or 20 to 30, and we'll have multiple videos to put out. Because I want this out with the rest of the world. Because ain't nobody talking about these 9 sacks. I ain't see nobody really talk about Joe Burrow. It's just all Joe Burrow. No, let's talk about these 9 sacks. And if I'm a quarterback and I got 9 sacks,
so
like, you know what?
It's 9 sacks. It's 9 sacks in the game, right? So roughly, we'll call it, what, 70, 75 plays in an NFL game?
It's basically on average. If you think about it, Chris, there's probably about anywhere from 9 to 12 drives in a game. And the way these defenses played, both these offenses had the ball like an equal 30 minutes. They were basically averaging a sack a drive, which is crazy.
Thank you. Like it's literally a sack every 8 to 9 plays. And you can't. So if I get a sack every 8 to 9 plays, we can't win. Like that's the position you put me in. So every drive, we put them behind the sticks. I get it. They're going to win some. They got all-pro quarterback, all-pro future. Like, his future looks great at wide receiver. But at the same time, if I get a sack every drive.
And Bays, if you got a chance even while we're doing this, I don't know if you can do it.
So they had 55 offensive plays, the Bengals, 37 pass attempts, 18 rushes. So 55 plays on offense that counted. And so out of those 55 plays,
that's 1 every 6 plays pretty much.
They had
every
9
6
sacks.
play, they sacked the quarterback.
9 sacks and 8 tackles for loss. So in terms of negative plays combined, what's that, 17? Yep, 17 negative plays.
So 1 every 3.
3 plays. They would produce the deep. That makes it even worse. Bays, that just might have been the stat to just put this over.
1 every 3 plays, you put them behind the sticks.
That's what talking heads aren't doing. This is why I want this. This is why I wanted to talk about this game with defensive line. Now, when you put that in perspective and we add in the tackles for loss, we are forcing this offense. And don't get me wrong, in my opinion, I thought Joe Burrow played a phenomenal game.
Yeah, he did.
Based on the fact that the Cincinnati Bengals, the one thing they do know, their O-line it's not quite there yet.
Rudy
they know that.
Poo.
Because we talked about it at the beginning of the year, Chris. Remember when I said for his own health reasons, because I'm such a fan of his.
They should have improved a lot more than what they did.
Maybe he should rest that knee a little bit more. So I'm happy that he's proved me wrong. He's like, you know what? These are my guys. I'm going to ride with him. He doesn't complain.
Nope.
He just gets up and he goes back to the huddle. And now he's smoking cigars, which I respect that. He's got his whole team smoking cigars with him. I mess with that swag that he's got the whole team going, you know what, man, this is Joe Cool, man. This is like, he's like the new, now I'm not saying this because he hasn't won anything, but his mentality is how they used to talk about Joe Montana in the huddle. Like he has a chance to be the next Joe Cool pending a couple Super Bowl wins. Because
I thought you were going to go Joe Namath more than anything else.
No, man. He's too hope. Like Joe Montana was host.
Joe Namath was out there getting them hoes.
Joe Montana was doing men's pantyhose ads. You know you don't give a shit when you're doing men's pantyhose and playgirl spreads like Shawn Michaels and shit.
Joe Namath out there. Joe Namath for the streets, baby.
Joe Namath was out there. Yeah, ain't shit. I mean, so But Bays, with you looking at those stats, like I'm pretty sure you might have been looking at Cubs or the sacks. But I'm just saying, 17 negative plays by a front seven and possibly, a safety coming down or a DB coming down making a great play on the run. And we lose every third play. It's a tackle for loss.
It's something. Because
that's all a sack is. A sack ain't nothing but a tackle for loss on a quarterback. 17 times they did not cross the line of scrimmage. In fact, they lost yardage. We didn't even factor in the plays that were 2 and under, because there's probably about 8 or 9 of them. Rush of 1, rush of 3, rush of 2. So you put in that performance, and if he doesn't throw the third pick, we're not even having this conversation. We're having all right, is Tannehill going to blow this versus the Chiefs conversation?
Yep.
And then he's got a chance to prove me wrong by it. If he takes me to the Super Bowl, I can't say shit about him ever. Tannehill's one of them guys, and I think, Bays, you would agree with this. There's certain quarterbacks to where it's like, you know what? If you just get to the dance,
that's good enough.
That's probably gonna be like Rex Grossman got the Bears to the Super Bowl. That was probably as good as it's gonna get for Rex Grossman.
Yeah.
Rex Grossman. Nah.
Oh, you know what? I'm going to save that for our second segment we're going to do later, because we're right on a good pace with this to where we could be in. But I want to say this and keep this short, and how I would think if I was an offensive player that watched my quarterback do that. And you guys were in the locker room with me. I was definitely more calmed down in locker rooms by the time I got to you guys in 09. Because in 2008, I used to throw trash cans. So that's a fact. Should have. Dusty was at the wedding. You should have asked Dusty about that game. I threw trash cans.
ECW.
I whited out. I'm still mad. I was watching our JT show. I was still, man, I'm still mad about it 13 years later. Point is,
to the volume.
Even I can hear you. So you good. Anyway, the point is, with really, what I would see if that's me, I'm like, dude, you need to go apologize to everybody. Like, you gotta, like Bay said, like, be contrite. That's the truth. I would look at him and go, Ryan, you lost that one. Like, save face. We just lost Bays. We were so close. We were so close, America. We almost got through that. They gave us, that's the furthest we've gotten in a while. We might be able to turn that into something, because you might be able to edit that somewhere.
Yeah.
But you just got to be contrite about it, man. And if I'm a receiver, I'm apologizing to my guys. Like, there's no way I'm not saying, like, dude, we let y'all down, bro. Like, there's no way. Like, we have to own that. You set an NFL record. Because I wouldn't even have to know it's a record, but I'm sitting there watching like, dude, they keep giving us a chance. They keep giving us a chance. The best way I can relay it is thinking about the Sioux Falls game when we all went up there and beat them in 09 in their place. We didn't score 30 points in that game. And y'all just kept saying they are not gonna score on us. And I said, that's all we need. It was me and Robert Red had all the touchdowns in that game, I think. And Chris might have run one in. I think it was like 26 to like 16, something crazy like that. But you got to win that game for your defense. Like, at the end of the day, it's like, if we would have lost that Sioux Falls game, y'all would have been hot. That would have been a tough practice.
Actually, we lost to Sioux Falls in Sioux Falls. I want to say it was 2008, and the defense played damn well, and offense didn't play that good. Chris he didn't have a game up to his standards. That wasn't one of my brother's best games. You know, he didn't seem like he had it that night. But defense was on though, you know, so I can relate to that feeling of playing at the level you need to win, but your offense doesn't.
Fine, I'll be the asshole. I'll glad that's fine. I remember the Tennessee game my junior year. We had the number 6 defense in the country.
Oh, Brody's not coming on the show at all after this.
Oh no, he probably won't. The number 6 defense in the country. All right, we get beat by Tennessee 13-10. This Brody threw a couple of picks, had a couple untimely fumbles, and forgot to snap count, like a bunch of like freshman shit. Stood up in the locker room after the game, like, yo, guys, I just want to apologize. Wasn't my best game, blah, blah, blah. And at this time, I'm like just in the rotation, like just one of the guys or whatever. I'm cool. Like I remember talking to JC, I was like, hey, man, I'm going to say something. Nah, man, don't say that. Don't say that. Nah, I'm going to say something. Be cool, bro. We get back on the bus. I get on the offensive bus, get on the microphone. Man, listen, I don't know what y'all expect to do this season, but this motherfucker ain't gonna get us there. Like, we need to find a running quarterback or something, because this country's son of a, and like went off for like 5-10 minutes. The defense coordinator had to come get me off the bus. I had to run for like the next 2 weeks in the morning, and then I had to run at night. Man, listen, I'm not the one that you would when you a quarterback. I don't give a damn about that. Hey, guys, this loss is on me. No, bitch, it ain't. It's on all of us, and it's your fault. Like, no, I don't know. Like, I'm not.
That's hilarious.
I'm not that big of a teammate where I can sit there and say, hey, man, everybody have a bad game. No, mother, you get paid the big bucks. You don't get to have a bad game. You can be good. You can be okay. You don't get to have a bad game. I can have a bad game. Because you know what happened when I've had a bad game? I get pulled out. That's it. You have a bad game, they're going to roll with you until the fourth quarter when it's too late to put somebody else in. No. Nah. All that falling on your sword shit, nah, that don't work with me. Hey, guys, this one's on me. All right. So is his hands.
That might have been the take of the week right there. You get paid the most money. You don't get to be bad. You can be great. You can be good. You can be
you can't.
America. We gonna go right into give me a minute on that. That was brilliant. So here it is. I'm gonna go ahead and go first because I don't really remember what I said last night. This is all what
That's a shame.
I was on Aaron Rodgers high. I had a couple pars at the back end. You know, it was a good weekend. But let me take my sip and see if I can say something creative. So, America, days I left enough for a Aaron Rodgers bashing session that's coming here next. America, give me a minute. You know, I think this is going to be a good mechanism that can at least get Bays. I get another 30 minutes out of Bays for a little bit, another video to have for this week. And the one thing I want to talk about is how the talking heads that are getting paid a good amount of money to do what they do seem to always move the goalposts depending on who they're talking about. It annoys the shit out of me. I can't stand that when it comes to this position. It's like the goalpost is like this for Lamar Jackson, but then it's like this for Tom Brady, but then it's like that for Aaron Rodgers, but then it's like this for Josh Allen, but then it's like this for Ryan Tannehill, but then it's like this for Dak Prescott, but then it's like this for Tua, and then it's like this for Russell Wilson. Let me tell you something. I'm going to call a spade a spade. A lot of these guys can play. And that's the reason why they're making the money they can. The one thing this show will do, and I promise you this, is the one thing that only talking head I ever see do. There's a few of them that do. Jay Williams does it from time to time within the NBA. Shannon Sharp does it constantly. I just feel bad for them because I feel like they could talk about more things than LeBron James and the Cowboys. Even though I add to the viewership because I just want to let Shannon Sharp go. But this show will always be unapologetic with admitting being wrong. But I need to remind you, as a guy that is sitting here on this show, picked the college football playoff a year ago. 4 weeks into the college football season. He was the guy that said it's going to be A, B, C, and D. And remember giving him his props for that. And we were all over him about Notre Dame. And he called it. He said, this is how I see it's going to happen. And they're going to find a way to beat Clemson. And them some bitches beat Clemson. By crook. But it don't matter if you're a crook or a hook. When you call it, and you give praise where praise is due. This is what I'm going to tell the talking heads, so I can hopefully become one and change the narrative of how you're supposed to do this shit. And while people will really watch you, it ain't about how loud you talk or who can impersonate you and do all that shit. What people really want to hear is what they see with their own eyes and have somebody tell them the honest to goodness truth about everything. Be objective 100% of the time. You can stand on your laurels. Mike Bazemore hates quarterbacks. But he can be objective about what he sees. And when he can be swayed to be like, you know what, I see your point, Walt. Or I see your point, Chris. He'll do that. That's all I'm asking out of people that are making a shit ton more money than me. And none of them are as good as me. Outside of the Ryan Clarks that played it, and you can see their intelligent takes and their ability to take it back. You know, I like the Rex Ryans on get-ups and Rob Ninkovich's. You know, I'm just starting to sound like Stephen A. right now talking shit. Point is this. There's a reason why you're going to see the team that I believe you're going to see. And it's because of this, and I'm going to pass it to somebody else. This is the second year in a row I have told you, when you have the ability to add a dynamic wide receiver to your team that has the ability to go, you know what, this is my chance to make it for myself. You are always going to come out on top if you've got weapons to go with it. Football is a very simple game, America. If you can't double team everybody, somebody's going to be wide the fuck open. That's the way the game plays. And the crazy part is they let Cooper Kupp run down the field. Word. Matthew Stafford he probably was in that game like, man, Cooper Kupp is real. Because he sure wasn't open last week. Thank God I had Odell Beckham in that first game. Because Arizona was like, nah, you're going to have to go to 3 and 89. It's not coming through him. And you better run the football. Cooper Kupp's getting 2.5 minutes. The same way I saw Stephon Diggs. The Chiefs made sure it ain't going to be him. That's how Gabriel Davis ended up with 200 yards. So good for Josh Allen. And that's when we know the guys that can play. And that's how you need to measure it, talking heads. Continue to analyze the game. Make it simple for people to understand why things happen. And that's why the Rams are where they are. And I tell you what, good luck versus the Niners, because these boys is hungry. America, that's been my minute.
No problem. Baze, you want to go next? You want me to go?
I'll make it short and sweet.
Uh-oh.
Mark Davis. Mark Davis. I'm going to tell you once. I'm going to tell you twice.
I know where he's going.
Don't make 2 mistakes in a row. Okay?
I know where he's going, Chris.
Hey.
I know where he's going, Chris. Do you know where he's going?
Oh,
I'm fucking up. Give me a minute, but I know where he's going. Okay, go ahead. What you saying?
By a thread. Don't you do this, Mark Davis. You bet not hire Jim Harbaugh. You bet not do this, Mark. Don't make me have to root for this dude because he's on my favorite team. Mark Davis, Don't you do it. Don't overthink it. All right. Give Coach Rich another year. Let him prove himself for an entire season, then make a decision. Don't overthink this. Mark. Don't do this, man. Don't Mark. America. In my minute.
As soon as he said Oakland Raiders, I was like, I know where this is going. I hadn't even thought about you and all this, Baze. Oh, that's your worst nightmare. That is really your NFL. That's your worst nightmare, dude.
I'll save my other give me a minute for the next one. I know the next one will be short.
And wait, hold on, before you go, Chris, and don't let Jim Harbaugh somehow win a Super Bowl with Oakland. What's Baze going to do that? Don't let him figure it out.
Hey, he is successful.
Baze will be so dumbfounded. He'd be like, you know what? This I don't even know what to do. He'd be so happy, sad for the entire offseason. He would be like, dude, the only way I'll accept this is Michigan State breaks through. That's the only way it could save him.
America, give me a minute. Like I said, I was going a different direction with this, but seeing as how we kind of stuck to NFL, I'm going to stick to NFL. Miami Dolphins. Your ass is on the clock. A good friend of mine said, hey, bro, like once they leave my alma mater, I ain't got nothing to do with them. Well, that's true for me too. Tua, hey, bro, I can appreciate how you made it cool for 5 stars to go to Alabama. I can appreciate how you made it cool for gunslingers to go to Alabama. You ain't did shit for me in the league. I am on record of saying I wanted Herbert. I ain't got nothing to do with Alabama love. Like, it's just I want the prototypical 6'4", 6'5" quarterback that when if he gets hit, he's not going to shatter.
I'm pretty sure that's on Spotify too, Chris.
Yeah, it is. Like Tua, I love the kid. God-fearing man, all that good stuff, says all the right things, does all the right things. But it's now to the point now where you can almost count down when he's going to get hurt during the season. I need, and this ain't even a quarterback draft this year. Like, get the kid from Liberty. Like, God, he's not afraid to run that bit. Like, he's going in the first round. Get the kid from Liberty. The kid from Pitt won't be there. Like, listen, Miami, it's time. I'm not going to say it's a failed experiment because it's not. It's the wrong assignment for the wrong class. You fired a great head coach. Not even good. You fired a great head coach because you wanted to go with Tua. I can't wager that bet with you. Like, listen, we lost to the goddamn Jacksonville Jaguars, bro. Like, do you know how much respect and money I lost that bullshit ass game?
The same amount of money Carson Wentz lost after he lost to Jacksonville too. Bazinga!
He was terrible in that last game. Like, terrible.
Yeah, it was trash.
He let me down. I got to own that too because I thought they were going to be way better than they were.
Miami, I need you to step up.
Sorry.
No, you good. Miami, I need you to step up. It's time. Let's find a veteran this year, and then next year we can go into the draft because next year should be a nice quarterback-heavy draft. And just let me go on record now.
Kirk Cousins, either you or Tennessee. Kirk Cousins.
Let me go on record and say this right now. I don't want Bryce Young either. So let's not get that shit misunderstood. I want let me be the old racist white man right now. Listen, I want a 6'4", 6'5" white boy quarterback. That's what I want. I want Daniel Constantine Marino III to be the quarterback. Listen, there's enough money where we can do a time machine and go get Dan back. Something. I don't want Bryce Young. Get rid of Tua. America, that's been my minute.
Or you can just start tanking for Arch right now. He's coming.
That's like 2 or 3, 4. That's 4 years away.
Hey, sometimes you got to pay the price. Sometimes you got to pay the price.
Take it for Arch.
Tank for Arch right now. Just start a 3-year window. Just
Arch, man.
Hey, let me gather some old linemen, and then I'm gonna get Arch.
Jeez.
Maybe that's what New York is secretly doing.
Take it for
New York
Arch.
has just been so bad. The Giants, they're like, you know what?
This Manning thing worked out for us.
Archie likes us. We'll let Peyton GM. It could be a package deal. We'll let Peyton GM,
coach.
or we'll give Peyton some ownership. Like John Maher might be like, you know what? Maybe I should step aside, let the Mannings take this over. They'll draft Arch. Don't let me be onto something, and somehow this video just makes me a gazillionaire, and the Mannings love me, and I get a personnel job. Listen, American, this was a good take. I'm proud of Bays because he just started attacking quarterbacks after being called before he started. Brody Crowell, you can't even be mad at that story because basically Chris Turner told us exactly who he is. You know, Brody, I want to let you know that his mic skills continued on when we played indoor football. They used to have the Chris Turner show on the bus. I didn't even know that was a thing until I was on the bus. If Pitbull knew how much his song was being turned by our mouths,
That'd be
theme song, Pitbull would have been like, yo, maybe I need to sponsor the Billings Wolves, yo. I'm telling you.
God.
And for goodness sakes, America, here we are. And the fact that we've got Mike Bazemore maybe for about another 25, 30 minutes, got to take advantage of him. So it's Wayne's Tuda, a.k.a. Mr. Saturday Night. I mean, you got to go with the branding. That guy over there I'm pointing to, that is the Python's what, do of this show, Mike Bazemore.
Trash.
The man on the bottom, Duval County's favorite Adonis, Christopher Turner. You know what the show is. You know what we stand for. You know what we speak for. But I'm going to go ahead and let Chris Turner tell you exactly what that question is. And Chris Turner, what is it?
What's good, America?
What's good, America?